Welcome again, children. Today, again, we are here to continue chapter 14, Early History of Deccan and South India. This is the last chapter of first term for your first summative. This is the last chapter of history, right? So let's come. Before that, we read the introduction part, how the Satavahana kingdom, after the downfall of Satavahana kingdom, it was divided into three kingdoms, Rashtrakutas, Ishwakush, and also Pallavas. Today, we are going to read about the three important kingdoms of South India, that is Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas, right? Which is the main source of information? Sangam literature is the main source of information. If you want to know about these Cholas, Pandyas and Cheras kingdom of South India, the main sources is Sangam literature. Apart from that, other sources are also there, that is inscriptions, Mahabharat, Jataka stories and travel accounts of foreign travelers. That means different stories, different epics, different inscription, and also the foreigners who came to India that time, they have also written the books in their travel accounts. From there we can come to know about the southern India and about these kingdoms. Tamil poems presented by poets at Sangam, where was the assembly where the people used to gather, describe the events and conditions of that time. They were compiled into Sangam literature. The things which were composed in the Sangam, that was been compiled in Sangam literature, that's why it came to be known as Sangam literature. These three Sangams were held at Madurai over a period of 3 to 4 centuries. So first kingdom we will come, that is Cholas. This was one of the powerful kingdom of South India. So where these Chola kingdoms were there, let's see on the map here. Can you see here? This is the Cholas. This is Pandyas, their capital was at Madurai, Chola's capital was Cholamandala, and these were the Cheras. So Chola kingdom or Cholamandala ruled over South India between Pennar and Vellar rivers. Here you will see the Pennar and Vellar rivers are there. The extent of their rule was always changing. Why the extent? Why the areas always changed? Due to defeat or victories in the war with the neighboring countries. Sometimes they got the victory, so their area was extended. And when they got defeated by their enemies, their areas were shortened. The Cholas set up their capital at Kaveri Pattam. After that, the capital was Kaveri Pattam. Here the Kaveri river flows, so their capital was Kaveri Pattam, and later they shifted to Tanjore and Gangai Konda Cholapura. So time to time they changed their capital. According to Sangam literature, King Karikula defeated the Cheras, Pandyas and even Sri Lanka. Karikula followed the Vedic religion. They developed trade and industry and built strong army and give royal patronage to Tamil literature. Royal patronage means main focus of the king, of the royal family, was towards Tamil literature, because Tamil was the main language over there in South India, so Tamil literature was more focused. Subsequently, the Cheras, Pandyas and later Pallavas also conquered the territories of Cholas from the weak successors of Karikula. So how the Chola kingdom came to an end? That after King Karikula, the successors were weak, and later on this Cheras, Pandyas and Pallavas defeated their successors of King Karikula, and later they captured the areas. Now we come to the next kingdom, Pandyas. Their kingdom was limited to southernmost and southern eastern part of Indian peninsula. So which is Indian peninsula? This one is Indian peninsula. Peninsula means where we have bounded by three sides of river. Here you find Arabian Sea, here you find Bay of Bengal, and here you find Indian Ocean. So the area which is been bounded by three sides of river, that is called peninsula. Okay. So they set up their capital at Madurai. Nedunjalam was the most important kingdom of Pandyas prospered from the trade with the Romans. Please underline, children, Nedunjalam. You can get a question that who was the most important king of Pandya dynasty. Pearls was been very much developed by Pandyas. The famous assembly of or Sangam held at Madurai during the Pandya rule, which proved that they were great patrons of literature. So Pandya rulers were also very much interested in literature and they gave more focus in literature. Chola king Prantaka first captured Madurai and defeated the Pandyas. So in this way the Pandya rule came to an end. Next is your Cheras. The Chera kingdom or Kerala Putra. Kerala Putra means, let me show you this. Where is this? This part is your Kerala. This part is your Kerala. So here were the Cheras. These were the Cheras. And that's why their capital was Kaveri Pattam. Kerala Putra. Sorry. That's why this kingdom was called Kerala Putra. And their capital was Vanchi. Their capital was where? Vanchi. So you can get the capital here. Please note down, children, that you can get a question. Name the capital of Cholas. Name the capital of Pandyas and also of Cheras. So Pandyas was Madurai. Cheras was Vanchi. And about Cholas, first of all, it was your Kaveri Pattam, and later on it was Tanjore and Gangai Kondai Cholapura. Two great rulers of Chera dynasty were there, Nedunjaral and Sengut I. Please underline that. These were the important rulers there, Nedunjaral and Sengut I. The Cheras had also trade relations with Rome and Egypt. So we came to know that as the South India, near to South India, these three kingdoms emerged. It was located near to sea route. So they had trade relations with foreign countries and particularly they carried out trade through sea route. That's why more focus was given to trade. Now we come to administration. It was divided into 5 geographical zones. For proper administration, for efficient administration, it was divided, the kingdom was divided into 5 geographical zones. Every area was not same. Somewhere it was plain, somewhere it was coastal land, somewhere it was arid land. Arid means banjar zameen jisko bolte hain. So that's why according to the geographical zones, the administration was carried out and it was divided into 5 geographical zones. So please underline that, 5 geographical zones. First is hills and forest. Second is pasture land. Pasture means चारा, जहाँ हम जानवरों के लिए खेती करते हैं, grasses grow करते हैं, that is pasture land. Fertile land where the agriculture was done on a mass scale. Coastal land near to sea. And arid land means banjar zameen, arid land, dry land. The king was assisted and advised by council of ministers. This is very common. He maintained a large army, soldiers, elephants, and the soldiers patrolled the roads to ensure the safety of the students. Patrol means used to provide security to the merchants. Patrolling karna. जैसे कि आप देखते हो कि रात के समय में पुलिस क्या करती है, पेट्रोलिंग करती है टू लुक आफ्टर द लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, proper security. So that time also the who used to look after or provided safety in the roads? The soldiers. Next is your society and religion. It was caste based society like India only. Brahmins and Kshatriyas dominated the other caste. King donated large piece of land to the temples because that time the temples were not only the center of worship but also of the administration, meeting place, cultural, and also to solve the problem. The people used to gather there in the temples and discuss the problems and sort out the problems. Mainly the gods Shiva and Vishnu was there. God Vishnu became very popular. The people living along the sea coast worship sea god and god Murugan, Kartike in North India. जो God कार्तिकेय को हम लोग नॉर्थ इंडिया में कहते हैं, that god was been named as Murugan in southern India. इवन कि समुद्र देवता की भी पूजा होती थी, दैट इज कॉल्ड सी गॉड. एंड दे ऑल्सो फॉलोड बुद्धिज्म एंड जैनिज्म. द पीपल ऑफ साउथ इंडिया लव्ड म्यूजिक, डांस, पोइट्री, एंड दे सेलिब्रेटेड फेयर्स एंड फेस्टिवल्स फॉर देयर एंटरटेनमेंट ड्यूरिंग लीजर टाइम. लीजर टाइम मीन्स free time. Occupation, agriculture was the main occupation. They used different iron tools, ploughshares, sickles were the tools used for cultivation. They grew rice, sugarcane, pulses, spices. The kings built canals for irrigation. Land revenue and trade was the main source of state income. Please underline, children, this is very important for you. What was the main source of income? Land revenue, which they get from agriculture, and next was trade, because during Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas we saw that trade was carried with the foreign countries. Egypt, Rome, Arabs, Malaya and China. Small merchants live along the sea coast. Mujris, Kaviripattam and Korkai were the important centers of trade of Cholas, Pandyas and Cheras. So these were the trading centers mainly. Please underline that. The main items were pearls, precious stones, textiles and ivory. Ivory means हाथी के दांत को कहते हैं ivory. The foreign traders brought copper, tin, glass, gold, silver and wine to India. तो Arab countries से China से copper, tin, glass, gold, silver used to come. Wine also was very popular in Arab countries, so it was brought to India. And precious stones, pearls, textiles and ivory was been exported from here to other countries. So the trade contacts help in the spread of Indian culture in the countries of Southeast Asia. That is absolutely correct, that when we came in contact with the foreign countries, lots of culture was been exchanged, lots of thinking was been exchanged. So this spread the Indian culture in the foreign countries, in Southeast Asian countries. Southeast Asian countries are mainly which countries? Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia. These are all Southeast Asian countries. So children, it's my request to you, so please go through the video very carefully, and that is next day I am going to give you the question answers, and we will also discuss the ABC part and also question answers. So please go through the video, and children, where I have underlined, please put underlined in your book and learn those as MCQ questions and objective questions, because this time you will be having your online test. So please keep in mind and go through the video carefully. Thank you, children.